Welcome back. If you just joined us, watching the news at 10, broadcasting on Channels Television live from Lagos and Abuja. A reminder of our main stories tonight. The Senate passes a 4.6 trillion naira budget for 2014. U.S. government expresses worry over the violence in the north-central region of Nigeria. World Bank indicates it will provide funding for the Lagos Power Revolution. And a 16-year-old student armed with 2 knives stabs over 20 students at a high school in the U.S. state of Pennsylvania. Well, do remember, all our top stories can be found on our website, ChannelsTV.com, and on YouTube.com/channelsweb. To get us on the move, visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. And remember, you can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. As well as interact with the Channels Eyewitness feature on our Android and Windows 8 platforms. If you have pictures or videos to share with us, tap on the application on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and follow the instructions to share your reports, pictures, and your videos. Speaking of which, here are some of the pictures sent in by some of our eyewitness reporters. The first shows an accident on Makurdi-Otukpo Road in Benue State involving 2 buses. This eyewitness says a number of the passengers died on the spot, while all the survivors sustained injuries. And the rains are coming gradually, leaving sad stories in their wake. This picture shows what has become of Ogijo at the Ogun State end of the Lagos-Shagamu Road. This eyewitness says the lack of drainage system on the road is the cause. Well, it's almost the same story in Abia State. This picture shows what the Ariaria International Market in Aba now looks like after a heavy downpour. Thank you for sending in those pictures and keep them coming. And now to Linda Akigbe in Abuja, who's standing by to give us more on the news at 10. Hello, Linda.
Thank you, Amarachi, and welcome to the nation's capital. The United States government is wading into the persistent violent clashes between farmers and herdsmen in the north-central parts of the country, particularly in Benue and Nasarawa states. As part of its engagements towards ending the violence, the U.S. ambassador to Nigeria, Mr. James Enwistle, visited the governor of Nasarawa State, Tanko Almakura, today. Mr. Enwistle told journalists in Lafayette, the state capital, how the U.S. government is interested in the return of peace to the north-central region. On his part, Governor Al-Makura provided an assurance that his state will adopt a community-based approach to end the bloody clashes in collaboration with neighboring Benue states.
There's always been tensions between herders and farmers, but is there some new element now that makes it different? And of course, most importantly, as His Excellency the Governor and I were just discussing, is what should be done about it? Is there a role for the security forces? Is there a role for some sort of government-sponsored mediation and reconciliation, that kind of thing? So here at my first trip to the Middle Belt, I'm very interested in the subject, very interested in your perspectives on what's behind this and what might be done. As a friend and partner of this country, I'm very concerned but very interested in the violence here in the Middle Belt.
Casting aspersions or making wild allegation will not help matters. These are issues that need to be sorted out amicably so that our people could have enduring peace and stability. I would like to assure you that as far as we are concerned, we will promote this reconciliation approach and interface with our sister state in Benue, no matter what the situation. And with the understanding of both states, this matter will come to an end very, very soon.
As part of his contribution towards addressing the current security challenges in the country, The British government is pledged to increase collaboration with the Nigeria police in tackling terrorism, kidnapping, piracy and other related crimes. During a courtesy visit to the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Abubakar, the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Andrew Pocock, said his government would assist the Nigeria police in the areas of capacity building. While thanking the British government for its continued support, the IG pledged the commitment of the force to mutual sharing of intelligence as may be dictated by the security needs of both countries. The federal government has approved the acquisition of new fighter aircraft and helicopters for the Nigerian Air Force, as well as the upgrade of some of our existing platforms to enable the service perform its roles. The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Adeshola Amusu, made the disclosure during a media briefing on the occasion of the Nigerian Air Force 50th anniversary celebration in Abuja. While commending the President for making available the resources needed to sustain the Air Force, Air Marshal Amusu also gave the assurance that the military would stabilize the country and ensure that democracy flourishes in the nation. For the sixth day, the National Conference continued with debate on the President's speech. The delegates spoke on the need for women empowerment, the need for a referendum on the outcome of the conference, and other issues that are key to transforming the country. Our correspondent Larry Lasisi has this report.
Now, the session for Wednesday commenced with delegates drawing attention to some administrative issues.
Yesterday, in the toilets, there was nowhere to be found toilet roll. And again, this morning, I went in there, the same observation.
Because issues like these are what the press men will latch onto. And before you know it, tomorrow headlines will be delegates complain about tissue paper. So we plead, there are bound to be lapses and problems. But please, let's lay our complaints behind the scene, and it's when we are not getting response, we can bring them to plenary.
The advice was noted, and after the votes and proceeding of the previous day was considered, the chairman addressed the issue of delegate salary.
A pay slip should be sent to every delegate who is given an account where the money is paid, specifying the details of whatever money is paid to him, what it is for, the amount paid for. Every person must be given a pay slip. It's not for public consumption that we go announce salaries or allowance to pay to people. That's not the civil service procedure.
The debate on the president's speech then continued.
Whether a speech becomes great in history is not determined by just what is written or what is delivered. It is what it succeeds in mobilizing and achieving going forward. Only then in history does it become a great speech.
Let us have true federalism. And then, Mr. Chairman, finally, as we go away, let us subject our decisions to a popular national referendum or plebiscite so that we can have a people's autonomous constitution, homegrown, because the process of the constitution is as much important as the context of the constitution.
This confab train must make a difference. We have already applied those principles of sound corporate governance, of diplomacy, and we are going to apply them. We're going to work together. There's already convergence. I beg all of you to join this train. It is not Jonathan's train. It is a national confab train.
I wish to plead for a single-digit loan for women in small and medium-scale enterprise.
Outside the proceedings, a delegate from Zamfara State spoke on the killing of some villagers in his state and appealed to President Jonathan to take decisive action on the matter.
President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to, as a matter of urgency, do the following. One, to sack the Inspector General of Police. He has failed in his constitutional responsibility of chief police officer of this country an institution that is charged with the responsibility of protecting life and property of the people.
About 100 delegates are yet to speak on the president's speech, and with just one day of the week left, it will be a race against time to ensure that this stage is completed and the conference can move on to other issues. Lanre Lasisi, Channels Television News.
Now, total independence and autonomy of state independent electoral commissions in the country is required to enable them conduct credible elections in the states. This is the view of the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Atahiru Jega, who spoke at a conference in Kaduna, northwest Nigeria today. The INEC boss noted that a situation where governors appoint members of their state electoral commissions, determine their budgets, and continuously interfere in the activities would not allow for free and fair polls. As a result of this, INEC says there cannot be good governance in the country if the foundation of the electoral process is not right. And that's all from Abuja. Back to you, Amarachi.
Thanks a lot, Linda. Also